of reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
But as we should know by now, we humans are destroying this beautiful world.
Ito yung palagi sinasabi na it's not only a government responsibility. So it boils down na yung responsibility ng individual mga tao, population. Sabi nga nila is the environment or the earth, parang hiram natin yan sa mga next generation, so we have to protect it. So
we are living in a very beautiful world. Mountains, oceans, waterfalls, these are all sights to behold. Or maybe we could just look at our immediate surroundings. The trees, plants, flowers, and even the soil are all beautiful. and useful to us in ways we wouldn't even be able to imagine. With all the natural resources and services provided to us by nature, we should not be lacking anything. But as we should know by now, we humans are destroying this beautiful world. With all of our technology and the affluence we keep on living in, we are forgetting something that should have been one of our top priorities: protecting our environment. Let this documentary introduce to you environmental hazards. Environmental hazards are anything that can cause harm, illness, or death in one's environment. What are its types? First are biological hazards. These are living organisms that can be detrimental to the health of another. There are two types of diseases that they can cause. First are non-transmissible, which cannot be passed on to another person. The other type is the infectious type, which can be passed on. An example of this would be colds and coughs. Infectious types can be further subdivided into epidemic and endemic kinds. Epidemic kinds are those that can spread throughout an entire country or place, while pandemic kinds are those that can occur in a larger scale, seeing that it can be in different parts of the world simultaneously. The next type of hazard are chemical hazards. It has three subdivisions. First are carcinogens, which can cause cancer. Next are mutagens, which can change the genetic material of one, causing mutation. The last type are teratogens, which can cause abnormal cell masses during fetal growth.
Basically, ang pollution, ang problem, concern and issues, health. So, epekto ng mga air pollution, water pollution in terms of drinking water. So, polluted yung water, ano bang issue, problem ng water resources, walang mainom na tubig, even our resources ng mga fish kills, mga ganun. So, that's for water. So, groundwater, another issue of pollution. So, another source of drinking water is yung galing sa groundwater, solid waste. So, basically, it boils down to health effects and some limit yung mga resources natin na available. So, even animals and flora and fauna, so nagkakaroon ng problem in terms of living conditions. So yun, kaya kinokontrol yung pollution.
Another type of hazard are physical hazards. These are the most common and can be found almost everywhere, especially in workplaces. Some of its types are fires, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and storms. Yes, even these things can be considered as environmental hazards. Let us look at one of these environmental hazards. Those that are caused by or seen only in certain cultures are called cultural hazards. These are poverty, unsafe working conditions, unstable highways, and criminal assault. The final type of environmental hazard, this is something very sad because these are the easiest hazards to avoid and yet we are unable to do it, are the ones caused by each individual's lifestyle choices. These are smoking, poor food choices, unsafe sex, and too much alcohol drinking.
So, the problem is for the government to have a system. Yun minsan kasi nagiging problem like collection, kung hindi regular collection ng basura.
These and many other environmental hazards are currently being faced by humanity and nature. But still, there are ways we can do to solve these problems.
Sabi nga nila is the environment or the earth. Parang hiram natin yan sa mga next generation. So we have to protect it. So yun ang basic principle ng environmental management or pagkuha ng kapaligiran.
I will talk about the solutions. For biological hazards, especially infectious diseases that can either be epidemic or pandemic, we should reduce poverty, decrease malnutrition by conducting feeding programs in areas with a high rate of people who are malnourished, and improve the quality of drinking water. Now, here are some solutions for chemical hazards. Power plants should switch off coal to natural energy, such as wind, solar cells, and hydrogen. Power plants should also phase out incineration.
Okay, actually yung term environmental management siguro. So we have a plan, may mga batas this environmental laws like on air, water, solid waste, hazardous waste, and environmental impact assessment. These are the laws na ini-implement ng Environmental Management Bureau, the ENR. Basically, ang purpose nito is to pangalagaan yung environment. So, kanya-kanyang aspeto yan. For air, Clean Air Act is to maintain a clean air. Basic, yun yung pinaka-basic din Clean water, to environmental impact assessment. So any project would have not much impact to the environment. Tapos solid waste, handling property of the waste management. Tapos yung hazardous waste naman, of course, management pa rin, and of course, yung health effects. So yun yung...
For the physical hazards that we face like earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, we can only do little from these happenings because the phenomena are unpredictable and spontaneous. But for floods and storms, there are things we can do to prevent this. For floods, clear all drainages and canals of garbage along highways and streets. Plant trees along deserted areas of the mountains and lands to prevent landslides.
Kung may isang programa ng government is I don't know kung aware kayo, yung Adapt Estero. It's a project by Secretary Pahe na particular estero, mayroong mga multinational that provide assistance, or I don't know kung ano yung klaseng assistance. It could be a monetary or information campaign, but meron yan, Estero, the whole Philippines, may program yan. Actually, water quality section namin ang nakafocus doon. So may mga ganon, and ito yung project ng government na with assistance from mga multinational corporations. So may mga, ewan ko kung anong klaseng help ang pinaprovide. It could be financial, it could be some other assistance. Basically, ito yung palagi sinasabi na it's not only a government responsibility. So it boils down na yung responsibility ng individual mga tao, population. Like, wag ka lang magtapon sa ilog. Malaking tulong yun
You can go to your nearest health center and take vaccine shots against infectious diseases. This can help by preventing the spread and transmission of such disease. Second, by simply washing your hands, you can prevent the transmission of colds and coughs. To prevent and control mercury pollution, you can collect and recycle mercury-containing electric switches and fluorescent light bulbs and dry cell batteries. To prevent floods, a simple and easy way you can do to contribute for the prevention is by simply keeping a candy wrapper in your pocket instead of leaving it around, because this small act can make a big difference.
So, mga tao iba, gusto nila malinis yung bahay nila So, kung malinis yung bahay mo, tapon mo na lang kahit saan, basta yung bahay mo malinis, may mga ganun. problem, but very simplified lang yon, but ang general idea is everyone should help in preventing yung pollution. Of course, may mga industries na nagdi-discharge, yun kuha ng government yun, so pinupulis yung mga companies na yan, but on the individual household, sana maiwasan din yung mga pagtapon ng basura or yung open burning ng mga basura, cause pollution din. So yun yung mga problems na nakaka-delay ng pagkwan.
Now, in terms of hazards caused by the individual's lifestyle choices, what you can do is, first, do not smoke. Do not even think of trying to smoke. But if you are already a smoker, stop now before it's too late. Do not smoke if you don't want your lungs to look like this. Second, eat healthy. Refrain from unhealthy snacks and foods that are prepared without proper sanitation. Instead, eat healthy and nutritious foods like fruits and vegetables. Lastly, drink moderately. Yes, drinking in parties and events may be acceptable, but make sure you don't drink too much and too often. This may cause addiction and problems to your health. So think about it. Why wait for the government to realize these hazards? Why wait for them to implement solutions? Why wait for power plants and factories to take responsibilities for their actions? Why wait for organizations to take action? Why wait when you yourself can start to change? When you can take immediate actions? Let the change start with you.
You.
You.